Hello everyone. So for today, we're gonna make these layer cakes, is what they're called. Lots of writing space with some of our paper. The big sheet of paper is 5 inches this way and should be about 8 1/4 this way. Then this one is 4, and then 8 and 4 this way, 8 1/4 this way. Then this one is whatever was left over, which means it was 2 3/4 by 8 1/4. Now, I just got done trying to record this, so my apologies. This is my second time repeating a lot of this stuff in my mind, but not in yours. So I'm just distressing around these quick. It will definitely make life easier if you distress first, if you're going to have distress. I personally like to distress my pieces, so I'm distressing and making sure my folds are where I want them. And I want it to go forward facing. Now, this is why it don't really matter that it's, some people like the layer cake this way. I personally think it fits better in your journal if you have it this way. To each your own when it comes down to that. You can have it whichever way you want when you're making your own. And I hope you're building your stash and crafting with me. On this, because I think it's just a nice little piece to do. Now, I forgot about this aspect, so give me one moment. I'm just going to quickly fold this down. These should come out to being around 4. So now with this, I'm just going to cut it down to 4 1/4 or a quarter. There, so it's 3 3/4 now. And that's why I'm like, oh, I forgot about doing this, because I just distressed and now I have to basically re-distress. Alright, there we go. And then this one is going to be 3 1/2. And now I'm going to distress this one. Today is Sunday and it's like raining outside, which it hasn't done in a while, so it's kind of nice to see some rain, especially when it's been like 80 degrees outside. How often do you say in Wisconsin that it's 80 degrees outside? In September, October. It's a rarity. So this first one, I'm making into a pocket. Yeah, I didn't technically need to distress this part, but I did it. Not a big deal. Now, this one I'll be making another pocket. And I got this idea between Gail Augustinelli, one of her Happy Meals from a while ago, and the Paper Outpost has a video on this, and I just thought, oh, I have so many ideas with it. So I'm just going with the ideas. And I completely and utterly forgot to, I'll have to redo that. Oh well. Forgot to distress around this one, and it definitely was showing that I forgot to distress. So, that happens. Luckily I didn't put much on it, so there. I mean, this is a very simple piece, but gives lots of journaling space, and if you want to keep it flat, you can. If you want to add more embellishment to it, you can. Again, it's make it your own. Alright, this is our number 3 of this, and as you could tell, I just took a regular A4 piece and cut it down, you know, laid it landscape, cut it down 5, 4, and then whatever was left over I used as my smallest piece. That's how I did it. You can do it whatever way you want. And because I wanted each of them to have a little bit of something with them, I chose to do it this way. Now, again, you could choose not to, of course. That's how I chose to do it. Now, you could also choose to have 3 different pieces of paper that are all book page. You don't necessarily need to use regular paper or cardstockish paper like what I am doing, but I thought, well, these ones that I saw were both book page ones, and I'm like, I'm thinking you could do this with scrapbooking paper even. Make it unique and different. So that's where I came up with this one. Instead of having that third one that you use, you know, folded over like in this one, I chose to take that piece of paper that I had for the third one, and instead of making it a number 3, I made it into a like coffee holder type idea with it. And then have the 2 big pieces. 1, 2. And again, this one has the pocket too, which is right here. So I mean, again, it's just an idea I wanted to throw out there for you, because I did use scrapbooking paper for this one instead of cardstock or a digital of some sort. So that's how I handled it. Again, everybody has their own way of handling it or making pieces. Make it your own. If you come up with a crazy idea that would go along with this basic technique, go for it. Again, my thing is I wanted to add pockets into it. I don't know why, but every time I went to do this, that's what I kept on thinking is this would create so many more pockets. So again, I'm just taking it down 1/4 of an inch each time. So this one is 3 3/4 now size, and this one will be 3 1/2 inches is what I'm putting it down to. So each one, it just gets a little bit smaller, and that's why it's called layer cake. And you could even, when you go to put this in a journal, you know, have your journal page. Let's see here. I have just a regular piece of paper here, but you could easily make this into a pocket and just glue the 4 corners or the 3 sides here and make it into a pocket. It does not have to be a spot that or something you just slip in to a pocket. You could make it a pocket itself or a tuck spot. You can easily just glue this corner down, and have it become a tuck spot. I mean, easily would fit something like this inside it as a tuck spot and be perfect for a page. So I want to throw out some ideas for you that when you're making your journals and stuff like that, to be inventive. And I really don't need to do this backside because the backside is not going to be seen with these ones. The last one I did do it. I didn't even realize it was automatic that I was just gonna do all of it on distressing. But if you're like me, who it costs money to buy this distress ink and everything, and I know a lot of people also use shoe polish for this. I've never tried the shoe polish method. I wish I have, but I haven't. But I do use stuff like the embellishment mousse for pieces like this. I'll use my marker sometimes to use, but with this particular piece I've been using my distress ink with all the other ones, so I'm trying to stick with, if I'm going to use one specific thing, I gotta use it on all of them. So that's my recommendation, is if you start your distressing with distress ink, I'd stick with the distress ink. If you started with a marker and that's what you were using around your pieces, then that's what you keep on using. You don't want to mix it up too much. If you use gilding paste to distress, that's what you got to use. You could even use acrylic paint to distress, but again, that is your choice. I just recommend once you start, to just keep on going and using the same pieces over and over again. If you're, again, just do you. I recommend, if you're starting with one spot, you want to keep on going with that one spot or one distress, just because, again, it makes life difficult if you're switching distresses throughout, or if you're using 3 different distress inks, then you gotta use the 3. I mean, you do you, but I do recommend keeping some cohesiveness with all of them. So this is what I decided with this one. So it's very different than the other 2. I used my 2 big pieces like that, and then this one I chose smaller pieces, but that's okay. Again, have fun with it. You don't necessarily need to do anything too important, I guess. Well, no, not too important. I'm sorry, I'm fiddling with this and saying things I shouldn't be saying. There. We go. So, there's our 3 for today. I think I want to try doing it with digitals. This is how my pocket booklet turned out, actually. My 2 pocket booklets that I had made for my 2 other journals that I'm working on. So everything that I've been doing with these, I've been trying to do with digitals and trying to see and make sure that, again, I can do the same thing with digitals. So I do these off camera. If you'd like to see me do them on camera, I can keep on going. But just leave a comment down below if you want to see how I make stuff with the digitals that are just like the others that we have made. So again, I don't know, sometimes I think it's easier for me to show how to do it with cardstock than it is with the other pieces. And especially when I'm trying to mass make to a point. I make some for them too, and then I have another bucket full of stuff that I'm trying to make for another project. So it's just like I'm all over the place a little bit with doing so many journals at once. So there's 3 fall journals. I've been messing with some Christmas scrapbooking paper just because I want to see if double-sided scrapbooking paper, if it's going to work the same way. And that's also why I have the 2 ones that I've been working with digitals. My own digital and Shabby Dabby Doodah's digital. So, and if you want my vintage children illustration journal, it is at My Hope Craft Shop on Etsy. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.